Welcome back to the CuttyandGovy show. We put together our 8 biggest reels, and we're doing a quick 15-minute show of these reels. Every one of these reels in one day had 20, 30, 40, even 180,000 views. So over the course of our 70 shows, we put together 8 reels, and here they are, folks. It's like that it's like Seinfeld, where they got arrested, the last show of the entire thing, where they observed the crime and they got arrested because they didn't stop the crime. You're saying that's an illegal offense?
That's what I wanted to ask you. So
I don't know.
If you're at this party,
My Harvard law degree doesn't have
if you're at this
the
party
answer
and
to
it's
that.
your first time,
Right.
this is your first time at a Diddy party, and all of a sudden you see these girls, you see naked girls walking around, but all of a sudden you hear someone in the other room yelling, "Stop! Stop!"
And it's Oprah Winfrey?
No, it's the guy that played the guy in that television show, the kids show. That was the email. It was him. I mean, but the question is, do you get up? Do you say anything? It's like, Denzel Washington always had the philosophy: you leave 30 minutes early. You always get out of the party early. I mean, Kamala Harris right now. I'll tell you what she's worried about. She's worried that her husband, who shows you how masculinity should be, just got accused of bitch slapping a girl because she put her hand on a valet person's shoulder. He slapped her and spun her around. This was also a guy who slept with his kid's nanny, and when he noticed that she was gaining a little bit of weight, he never thought that she was pregnant, and then had her have an abortion.
This is Kamala Harris's husband, everybody. Right. Evidently has a track record of adulterous affairs, getting a nanny pregnant.
That's why they got divorced. He got his nanny, the kid's nanny, pregnant.
But, Donald Trump is adulterous too. But, I will say he has never been accused of hitting a woman. I mean, I think if you hit a woman, the boundaries 100%, are broken.
But also,
this guy's a bad guy.
Also, Donald Trump doesn't go around there saying, I am the poster child for how men should be.
Yeah, man.
You saw the video of him in the hallway beating up.
Oh, God.
And that was like the beginning. So I think that he has some politicians, local politicians, maybe some sheriffs, other people in Hollywood, stars, big stars.
Don't you think Beyonce and Jay-Z are part of this mess?
Well, since we're talking conspiracies here the whole time, some people believe that Ben Affleck wanted a divorce from J-Lo because he was tipped off that P. Diddy's going down and that there's tapes maybe
of J-Lo.
Of J-Lo.
100%. She was involved with him when he shot that guy, or the gun trial, right?
She thought she
wasn't there a shooting or something?
Yeah.
And she hid the gun, and everybody got
that was his girlfriend, was J-Lo at the time.
I have this Texas lawyer, this ruthless guy that now represents, 120 people, some as young as 9 years old.
And many more coming. Many more coming.
So, what happens to this guy? I mean, who can he rat out on to get out of this deal?
First of all,
how's he get out of this
First of all,
deal?
he has to come to the realization that he's never going to see daylight again. And there's a lot of people that would like to see him deceased. I mean, people are nervous. Right now in Hollywood, there are people, music executives are nervous every night because they know if you listen to this lawyer yesterday that's representing these victims, he said not only do they have the tapes, they have the tapes of the people that were sitting around outside of a room where a rape was taking place and they did nothing.
It's like that it's like Seinfeld, where they got arrested, the last show of the entire thing, where they observed the crime and they got arrested because they didn't stop the crime. You're saying that's an illegal offense?
That's what I wanted to ask you. This is the first hurricane I remember that politics got into play, where it's like, DeSantis, and no matter what you think about the guy, as far as running a disaster and preventing as good a job you could do, there's not a better governor for a hurricane situation than Governor DeSantis. And when Kamala Harris has to get into the politics of it, it's just wrong because she was never involved in any hurricane in the 4 previous years, and now all of a sudden she's asking stuff that is, he's dealing with her boss. Joe Biden's been okay with it.
Well, DeSantis was great. He said, I don't even understand why the woman's calling me. He said, I'm dealing with her boss. Kamala was debating Pence in the last election, Vice President Pence. And
is that when the fly landed on his head?
Yeah, she said, "Excuse me, I'm talking. Excuse me." I think she can beat Donald Trump on substance, not on substance, on mannerism. And the way she's going to get under his skin. I don't know how they're training the guy, but at the end of the day, I'm going on record, as I did with Joe Biden, I don't think Donald Trump should debate her. Your top 5 people that you think are going to get in trouble with this P. Diddy thing. Who's the biggest name, do you think?
Well, how about if they cooperate? Like
okay, but they're going to be exposed.
They're going to be exposed. So you want Justin Bieber?
He's the top?
He's the top because he was a minor.
Right.
So the question is, when you see him with girls, P. Diddy with his hand around them, basically getting him laid at 14 years old, and there's tapes,
so
that's an open and shut case.
All right, Justin Bieber.
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher, it's 2.
Usher.
Usher, 3. Usher's definitely part of it.
Yeah, Usher's 3. I would think that...
Do you think Oprah Winfrey?
No.
Barack Obama?
No. I don't.
Mike Tyson?
No. But I think you might have... I think that you might have some Jay-Z and Beyonce problems.
Jay-Z, Beyonce.
They could have
Jennifer Lopez.
Yes. Jennifer
All right,
Lopez,
so
yes.
This is.
But I think Clive Davis. Clive Davis, yes. I think there's a lot of.
How about some musicians like the Rolling Stones or?
Yeah, I think. But when Waltz made a comment like, there were more people crossing the southern border under the Trump administration than the Biden administration, and they don't fact check that at all. That's where you just have to, right there. You just say, okay, it's in the tank. They already.
Well, I'm going to take the other side of this, Govy. I mean, these guys know it's going to be in the tank, the Vance-Trump team, and they have to come to the debate like Vance did, prepared to argue with the moderator and say, the rules were no fact-checking, and you just fact-checked me.
So that's your answer is they have to know that they're going to be taken advantage of.
Yes.
Now, is that what the American people want it to be?
But why take the debate unless you have a realistic expectation that it's going to be in the bag? You're going to have to defend yourself. And I think what Vance did, and I'm defending him here, was right. He attacked the moderator, and that's what Trump should have done. In fact, to the point where I even said, Donald, don't do this debate, but if you get in trouble, stand up and walk out. And he should have done that. Well, Vance should have said that to the lady. Well, you fact-check me again, I'm walking out. Well, it's like that it's like Seinfeld, where they got arrested, the last show of the entire thing, where they observed the crime, and they got arrested because they didn't stop the crime. You're saying that's an illegal offense?
That's what I wanted to ask you. So
I don't know.
If you're at this party.
My Harvard law degree doesn't have
if you're at this party and
it's
your first time, this is your first time at a Diddy party, and all of a sudden, you see these girls, you see naked girls walking around, but all of a sudden you hear someone in the other room yelling, "Stop! Stop!"
And it's Oprah Winfrey?
No, it's the guy that played the guy in that television show, the kids show. That was the email that it was him. I mean, but the question is, do you get up? Do you say anything? It's like, Denzel Washington always had the philosophy, you leave 30 minutes early. You always get out of the party early.
The funniest thing, I would have attacked her when she said, I'm going to give $50,000 tax deduction to new businesses. Excuse me, America. Do you know any new startup business that needs a tax deduction? Maybe 1 out of 1,000 make money the first year that they're going to need a $50,000 write-off. I mean, it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Who's going to make money in a startup business? Let's say you're starting a restaurant. You have to borrow millions of dollars. You buy tables, chairs. You put a kitchen in. How are you making money?
Well, did she come up with the thing that she wanted to tax you on gains that you haven't received yet?
Yeah,
that's another genius move that she came up with. Do you know Patrick Mahomes? He comes
Brittany,
out. You know what he said? You know what he bet? No, but Patrick Mahomes came out and said, "I'm for everybody going out and voting. Good. I'm not telling you who I'm voting for or whatever. It's up to every single person. We have a right to vote. I just think it's important to get out and vote." That's all Taylor Swift had to say.
Huge career mistake, because if Kamala Harris, if she wins and she comes out with a progressive, crazy, way left agenda, I mean, Taylor Swift is now tattooed with that the rest of her career. I mean, it's a big mistake.
It's a turnoff. A lot of people are going to turn that off.
Take away from the devil. I'm only